Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm going to be talking about this 66 Supernova from the RLC. If you're not familiar with the RLC, or if you're just getting into collecting collectible or a little bit more high-end Hot Wheels cars, the RLC is a good thing to join. You can go to the Mattel Creations website. I'll leave a link in the description. You buy a one-year membership to the Redline Club, and it gives you the opportunity to buy cars like this. They release quite a few in a year. Some of them are very limited edition, some of them less than others. And inevitably, if you're looking into the Redline Club, you will see people complain about not being able to get cars. They're hard to get. And they can be, but sometimes people make it a little bit harder on themselves. So, I think probably one of the better videos I have maybe to watch on that is the RLC Worth It? One about the Mustang Club membership car. And there are some other videos out there too. So just kind of look into the RLC, see if there's some tips and tricks you can look up. We may do another video on that soon, but it's not always as hard as people make it out to be. So now next week I will say there's going to be a Skyline released, and it will be very hard to get. It will sell out very quickly. So if you're just joining the RLC and that's your first attempt at getting a car, just be prepared for that. Something like this was quite a bit easier to get than the Skyline will be next week. That's just kind of the way it is right now. So just keep that in mind. Go ahead and get into the car here and look at the card art first. Really nice. And full disclosure, I actually did a video on this last night. And the more I thought about it, there was one or two things I kind of left out. And really, to be honest with you, even as I was kind of looking back over that video, the more I look at this casting, the more I like it. So that's I guess that's always a good thing, right? And so, like I said, nice card art here. It kind of gives you an idea of what they were going for with the car, because there were a few things that honestly I was kind of confused about, not sure what they were trying to do until I got to looking at the card art more. So really nice there. We'll go and get started at the front here. And let's go ahead and bring up off the bat one of my biggest problems with this car and really gassers in general. My first exposure to gassers was in the 1/24 scale model kit world. And so, you can do a little bit more with those. They're a little bit more realistic. And in 1/64 scale, you just can't always do the same thing. And that's a problem that we have with the gassers on the front end here. Um, you know, this whole deal just kind of gets on my nerves. I don't know why. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. And really, I kind of dislike that even on like the jacked up four-wheel drive trucks that they have too. I know that there's not really a good solution for getting around that, but it just kind of turns me off from the castings a little bit. I wish it weren't so, but it is. I will say at least they try to make it look like it's leaf springs and kind of an axle here, so that's good. When I first saw this on the website, and you can kind of see here, this is a darker chrome than normal. And in certain lights, it looks really dark, almost black. And in the pictures on the website, I thought they had done this in black. So it was like a matte or flat black. And I do think that that would have helped it out a little bit. I think it would not only make it look more frame-like, but also I think it would help it to blend in up under the car and not be as noticeable. Some people might be looking at this and be like, well, I really don't care. Um, if I've showed it to you and you just can't unsee it now, I apologize. That's just one of my big things with the gassers. Now, going away from that, the rest of the front of the car looks really good. And so you have these headlights here. I can't tell if they're painted or if that's Tampo, but they did a really good job with that. Of course, you have the gas tank with the straps there. It looks pretty cool. The grill they've got painted black, and I couldn't really figure out what the deal with that was. You can kind of see here on the card art that it's supposed to be like the blacked out, just that part of the grill. Uh, I don't know about that. I mean, it's not a big deal, but just kind of odd the way they did it. But either way, that's just the way it is. So I don't think it looks bad. Just kind of odd if you think about it too much. Radiator looks really good. And to be honest with you, this engine is probably one of the better engines that I've seen, exposed engines on a Hot Wheels car. It really looks nice, and it fits this car really well. Of course, you have a little bit more detail with the painted belt and the oil cap covers here. You even kind of look like you can see the bell housing down in there, so that's really nice. My second issue that I have with the car is, you can kind of see like where you'd have headers coming off here. You can see a little bit of the exhaust here. But you got this big gap in the fender and you don't really see any headers. And man, that just would be a really good opportunity. I know that's probably a lot of work. in the scheme of things. But man, how cool would that look if you just see, some a little bit more header running down through there. They've tried to do it. The camera don't pick it up great, but it's like there's just a big chunk of it missing. So really wish they'd have done a little bit different with that. But overall, that really doesn't take away from the car for me as much as this does. Now, going on with the car, the front and back glass look really good. Love the way they did that. It's super clean looking. And this paint, this blue Spectraflame paint they have here, I think this is probably my favorite Spectraflame paint that I've seen so far. Really realistic looking. I could see them doing a lot of different castings with this. I think a lot of colors would accent this really nicely. So super, super good job on the paint. I love that. Coming around to the back here, you have some really good detail on the taillights and the housing. You got a continuation of the stripes that you kind of see on the side. Of course, the parachute pack, chrome bumper to round it out. And from the back, you can see these big drag slicks. Looks pretty good. I will say the proportions on the wheels here are pretty good. Sometimes I kind of complain about these tires being a little too thin, but that's just the style of car it is. But the drag slicks, I think they did really good with. Wheel choice on this car, I thought was excellent. Again, on the side, you see this really nice paint. Go ahead and look in the inside here. Not much to it. Has been stripped out like a drag car. Of course, you have a racing seat in there. And, of course, the steering wheel, roll cage. Plain, but really well done, I think. Have some detail on the handle here and the lock. Also, some silver detail on the rocker panel here that I think just kind of makes the whole thing pop a little bit. But I guess the real story on the side, other than the paint, you know what? This is the whole package. They just did a really good job with this. I'm not going to take away from anything. But these stripes right here, they kind of give me a 70s vibe. But really what they do, to me anyway, they make the car look so much longer than it is. And it gives it a totally different look, kind of a totally different stance than other versions of this car that I've seen. So I thought that was really cool. So overall, guys, really nice casting. Like I said, this side view is just killer. Between the engine, the fantastic blue, excellent wheel choice, drag slicks, tampo, just the details here, really, really super nice. So, at one time I was kind of on the fence about getting this car. I even did a poll to see if there was going to be any interest in doing a review on it, and I'm glad I picked it up. I don't know that I'll keep it forever, but I'll definitely be keeping it for a little while. It's a very nice looking car, and definitely glad I picked it up. So, guys, hope y'all enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this car? Did you pick one up? Do you wish you'd picked one up? What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? Just let me know anything you're thinking about this car in the comments below. If you're with us so far, I appreciate it. If you don't mind, give us a like and a subscribe. Be happy to have you come along on this little Hot Wheels journey. And, if you know anybody that you think might be interested in this car and this casting, feel free to share it with them. Love to, inform people. And in the comments, guys, love hearing from y'all. So, hope everybody's having a good weekend. And happy hunting, y'all.